Hey. What's happening out there, folks? Out there in Sacramento and across the country, across the nation. Welcome to another episode of On the Cutting Room Floor. I'm the host, Tony Ray Harvey, and I'm podcasting here from the beautiful area, southwest area of Sacramento, California, Greenhaven, Pocket Road, Pocket area. And peace in. You know why I'm here, so let's get down into it. Let's get down into it because it's 20 games in for the Sacramento Kings. And as a matter of fact, the Sacramento Kings lost tonight on the road at the Moda Center in Portland, Oregon to the Portland Trail Blazers, 115-106. Domantas Sabonis, he finished the game with 21 points, 14 rebounds, 11 assists, 1 block in 40 minutes. So he had a triple-double tonight and a losing effort. Sacramento Kings. Yeah. So the Sacramento Kings fall to 9-11. Okay. We are talking about 20 games. And they are now 5-5 on the road on the season. And they're 4-6 at Golden One Center. And they will have another game in about 48 hours or less than 48 hours against the San Antonio Spurs, who've been playing really well and have already beaten the Kings this season. Sacramento Kings. So the Portland Trail Blazers, they improved to 8-12. They are 5-4 at home, and I believe they picked up their first victory. I have to go back and check in the Emirates Cup, which the Kings are now 0-3. So basically, if you ask me, they're out of play-in contention. In-season tournament contention. Done it. Poof. It's over with. Had a chance to get one tonight. After a pretty quality win in Minnesota, you followed us up with, I wouldn't say a lackluster performance, but the Kings are definitely having some shooting woes because they fell right back into that. And they had 20 turnovers, 13 in the first half. That really hurt them. I think Portland produced, 24 points off of those turnovers. And they killed the Kings. They killed the Kings in the paint. They what do they have? The Portland Trail Blazers, they had 64 points in the paint. And that's basically what the Kings had in the last game against Minnesota. The Kings had 34 points in the paint. Now they did, pull down 50 rebounds, but they had those 20 turnovers. And for most of the game, they didn't shoot well behind. They didn't shoot well in 3-point territory, but we'll get into that. But this it kind of reminds me of last season, and I'm talking about December 26, 2023, day after Christmas, of course, when the Kings played Portland in Portland, and of course, Portland. I think they were on a losing streak. They only had like 6 wins on the season at that time, but they beat the Kings 130-113. And I do remember that first quarter when Portland kind of got hot. And these were some different players. Most of these players that they were playing with, in that game, from the G League team. And they played great. But and the reason why I bring this up, because when I did bring it up, then next thing you know, here come everybody else, with the shit. Excuse my language. Okay. When we're talking about giving these team confidence. Okay, so, I don't care what anybody say. Some of these people already know. Y'all coming in on this podcast, y'all listen to some things, then you go run to your shit. Excuse me, I said it again. And then you want to use something I say, but then talk stuff behind my back. All right, we got that out the way. But let's move on, though. Excuse me for using that language, because I really don't want to be using foul language on this platform. But that's what happened tonight again, and I'm pretty sure everybody noticed that too, because what the young man name? Just to point out something, he came off the bench at the 6:10 mark in the first quarter, and that would be Delano Banton, if that's how you pronounce his name. And he scored like 9 points right away after he entered the game. Okay. Going into the second quarter, I think he had about 12, 13 points. And then, I'm talking about confidence, later on in the game, at least in the fourth quarter, Anfernee Simons, who can light it up, but he's only averaging like 16 points a game this season, okay, he gets hot in the fourth quarter and going to look like a little one-man scoring run of his own. Just want to mention one more person when we're talking about confidence. Deni Avdija is another one. He had 20 points tonight. He was 7-15 for shooting from the field, 4 for 9 in three-point territory, 2 for 2 at the free throw line. He had 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block. But he's only averaging about 10 points a game. Confidence. Confidence matters. And when we're talking about confidence, because we're not just talking about confidence alone. When these teams know that they're going to play the Sacramento Kings, they circle that on the calendar. They know the deal. They already know the deals with the Kings. Oh, we're not going to let them beat us. This team is sorry. I don't care who they are. That's the Sacramento Kings. We got to get this W. That's the opposing team's thought process. Before they even step off that plane in Portland, the opposing team already got their confidence up. This is one we can get. We can beat the Sacramento Kings. All right. Both of these teams, overall, what do we have here now that Portland have played 20 games, the Kings have played 20 games. They came into this game, the Kings and the Portland Trailblazers, basically neck and neck as far as three-point percentage, which was really low, okay? It almost even at around 32% in three-point territory. Tonight, Portland didn't shoot that much better. It was 11 for 37, 29.7. But I'm telling you, the ones that they did make made a difference because they were on scoring runs when they made those threes. That was the difference, too, in the game, too. Okay? 20 turnovers really killed the Kings. That must be understood. Everybody got to understand that. Kings, for the most part, they was only shooting around 30% in three-point territory behind the arc. But they ended up tonight with making 15 out of 42 for 35.7%. 21 and 28 from the free throw line, 75%. And let's go to the field goal percentage. 35 for 78, 44.9%. So 45% shooting from the field. Portland Trailblazers shot 51%. 51%. Okay? 46 of 90. They made 46 of 90 shots from the floor. 51.1%. And if I was not mistaken, Portland came into this game overall shooting 42.7% from the field. 32.8% in three-point territory. Yes, they did. Okay, so, and I'm looking also to, Chauncey Billups. He's getting a little rhythm with this team. I always a lot of concern about him, after the season ended last season, how he was gonna, how Portland was gonna treat him. But they riding with him. Because right now he's 89 and 177. He's won 89 games and lost 177 with the Portland since he's been the head coach there. And I'm glad they didn't get rid of him after last season because, as you know, he was inducted into the Hall of Fame. And he still got a couple good players that he can rely on, and I am talking about DeAndre Ayton. 26 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. Excuse me. 11 for 19 shooting from the field, 57.9% shooting from the floor. 4 for 6 from free throw line, but he did all this dirty work in the paint. Okay. Delano Banton, well, I said he came off the bench. He did have 17 points. He was 7 for 13 shooting from the field, 3 for 6 shooting behind the arc. Okay. He had 2 rebounds, 9 assists. 9 assists off the bench. 2 steals. 2 steals. It's not just that these teams get the confidence, okay? They know who they're dealing with. And they were without the rookie, Donovan Clingan. They were without Jeremy Grant and Matisse Thybulle. They didn't even play. Same story. Different season. Different season. Oh, my goodness. Man, 18 turnovers through 3 quarters. Through 3 quarters. Yeah. I think the Kings' biggest lead was in the first quarter. Let me see. The Kings led 17-11 in the first quarter. Portland makes the next 7 baskets, and that made the score 18-17. Portland. Kings held on to it. Yes, right. But the Kings came back and they held on to a 30-25 lead. Sabonis, he had 14 points in that first quarter alone, including 2 3-pointers off of 6 or 7 shooting from the floor. That was the first quarter. So, matter of fact, yeah, right. Kings led 30-25 after that first quarter. But their biggest lead in the game was 6 points. Okay. So the Trailblazers were behind 39-38 in the second quarter, and then they go on an 11-2 run to lead 49-41 on a DeAndre Ayton free throw, and they left 54-50 at the half. The Kings was only down by 4 points at the half. Right, so Sabonis had 18 points at the half, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block, 4 turnovers. 4 turnovers. De'Aaron Fox had 4 turnovers in that first half. So that's 8 turnovers out of what? I think they had 13 turnovers in that first half. So yeah, at the half, also what I was talking about, Delano Banton. Make sure we talk Banton, whatever. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Just one of those want to get away moments. But anyway, he had 14 points, and Ayton had 14 points in the first half. Yeah. So we move over to the third quarter. Portland Trailblazers, they jump out to an 18-5 run to make the score 72-57 on a basket by Anfernee Simons. Okay, by the end of the third quarter, they were leading 87-72. Right? In the fourth quarter, Portland's biggest lead, that arrived when Shaedon Sharpe made a basket to give Portland a 107-88 lead at the 5:27 mark of the fourth quarter. And as we all know, they didn't look back. But that was their biggest lead in the game, 19 points. Oh, boy. Boy. 20 turnovers. They know who they're dealing with, folks. I don't know how much better this is going to get. They're 9-11. They're 2 games under 500 through 20 games. Could have came back home, go to Moda Center, 10-10, 500, and I would have predicted a different forecast for the future had that been accomplished, but it wasn't. 9-11. DeMar DeRozan, he's out, and I believe he's going to be out for a while, with these back issues. And of course, we know Trey Lyles, he's out 3 to 4 weeks. That's when they're going to reevaluate him, so there's no guarantee that he'll be back then. But there is one shiny moment that could happen. Okay, Devin Carter should be available around that time, if they choose not to hold him out the whole season. If the season is still reachable at this time, as far as play-in or playoffs. But if they fall back any more than this, I'm like, Rich Paul gonna be starting making some calls. And when I say Rich Paul from Clutch Sports, I'm talking about De'Aaron Fox, sports agent. All three of those guys did their job tonight. They sure did. De'Aaron Fox, he did. Domantas, he did. Malik Monk, he did. Malik Monk came off the bench with 29 points, 3 rebounds, 9 assists, 8 from 8, 10 for 21 shooting from the floor. He made 8 3-pointers out of 15 attempts. 8 3-pointers in 3-point territory. He made his one and only free throw, and he did this in 36 minutes. He had 5 turnovers. So he had 5 turnovers. De'Aaron had 5 turnovers. And Domantas had 5 turnovers. Shoot, that's like 75%. That's 75% of the miscues by these 3 fellas who had typically a normal good night. Well, at least offensively, as far as that production, that accounts for 75% of the turnovers. Ball security, huh? Yeah. Okay. De'Aaron had 22 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. He was 8 for 18 shooting from the floor, 1 for 6 behind the arc, 5 for 7 at the free throw line. And he played 36 minutes. This is when it gets crazy here, because Jake Crowder, he had 10 points, 2 rebounds, 1 steal, 20 minutes. This is when it gets, he was 5 or 6 shooting from the free throw line. It's a good job by him. Keegan Murray was 1 for 9 shooting from the floor for the Sacramento Kings tonight. 1 for 6 in 3-point territory. So your only shot that you made in the game, that's 3 points. He didn't go through the free line. It was beyond the arc. He didn't make any two-point baskets. When I see stuff like this, I know it could be some things going on psychologically, but there also got to be some things going on physically too for this young man. What it is, who knows? If it's not, it's definitely a psychological thing. It's definitely a psychological thing, because he started off the season pretty good. Now all of a sudden, you can't hit the side of the ocean. Your defense is there. But then again, also have to, put this on the coaching staff too, Mike Brown and his coaching staff. Are you putting him in a position where he can, get buckets? We have been talking about this stuff. It's not happening. His dad already made a comment on this about how his son was playing in the post when he was at the University of Iowa. How effective that he was in the paint. Now he's struggling. I don't even know if he's shooting 25% from 3-point land. I really don't know. I have to check up on those numbers. Oh boy, but that right there, that gets me, because I know he's a much better player than this, but what's going on with this? What's happening right here? And as for the team overall, okay, yeah, I'm getting down to it. Monty McNair. You put this roster together, and I would say on the premises of what was asked after Devin Carter was drafted. And I don't think that was a wrong choice, choosing him, even though we're seeing some other players that fell down below him that are producing for their respective teams. You already knew you had a gang of guards on this team, but you were dead set on getting this guy out of Providence. Okay, you got it. And then you told us in the press conference. Yes, you did. All right, as far as balance, roster balance, what you see right now, it's not what you're going to see later on in those terms. Okay, if I'm wrong, please correct me. But this is you. This is on you, Monty. And you know I don't talk like this. I give everybody the benefit of the doubt, okay? But you put this together. I know Mike got his issues too, okay, about, you know, how he's trying to manage this stuff. You know, he really was having a big problem through these 20 games about these heavy minutes. But I understand you don't trust your bench. And that makes it kind of difficult to coach a team when you cannot sit your starters when need be. But this is on you, Monty. You put this together. Okay? What Al Pacino say in Scarface? Who put this thing together? Me. Who do I trust? Me. That's who. Excuse me. But anyway, this is on you, Monty. I'm going to go back there to the draft. June 2024. The end of, 28th, 29th or something like that, June, okay? I'm sitting there. I'm in Golden One Center. What's happening here? We're in the media room in Golden One Center. And I'm looking at how this draft falling apart. We knew this team was going to have to address another postman, another number 5, and basically a number 3, a wingman. And I know these things are hard to get, but it never did develop like that, okay? This roster is still imbalanced. Yes, you went out and you got Doug McDermott, but you're not getting much out of him on the production end. Yes, you went out, you know, and you were able to trade in DeMar DeRozan, who's been working really hard here. But he's 35, 36 years, and he definitely should be playing 40, 41 minutes a game. Keegan out there working his butt off, too. I know he is. He's having some issues, too. But at some point, I just think it is taking its toll. So I'm not saying you have to make another move, because I do, you know, Jay Crowder is, hey, he's filling in the blanks, as he should. We only expect him to be shooting 20, you know, making 20 points, scoring 20 points a game, and, you know, making about 5 or 6 3-pointers a game or anything like that. But you're not getting anything else out your bench, really. I mean, I like what you got on the bench. Isaac Jones appeared to be another Keon Ellis, if that's safe to say. But this roster still it's not balanced. No. So we're going to have to see what you're going to do. You plugged in a little hole here the other day, and you got a win out of it. And I think, you know, going forward, he's going to be a contributor. And I am talking about Jay Crowder. I don't know when DeMar is coming back. We already know what the situation is going on with Trey Lyles. But this thing could keep going, descending. Down. So basically, hey, that's my digital commentary for tonight, folks. Okay, and I wanted it off like that. All right. So we got this thing going on with Coach Mike Brown, who was extended over the summer. Okay, and now we got this thing going on with Monty McNair, who basically have a small team that's not really totally athletic and not totally long. And the Portland Trailblazer are that, every bit of that. So I'm not giving up on this team. I will say that. 9-11 through 20 games. Now I'm going to look at the next 10 games. I'm not going to wait for the next 20 games. Matter of fact, I'm going to look at the next 5 games here. They got San Antonio, and then the Kings have Houston 2 days after that on December 3rd. They play the Spurs this Sunday, December 1st, Monday. Houston coming in. And yes, they are long and athletic. The Kings couldn't beat them one time last season. Boy. Yeah, it's frustrating. And I'm saying that from the personal end and the professional side, too. This team should be better than it is, but it's not. It is not. San Antonio looking better than the Kings. Houston definitely looking better than the Kings. Minnesota, They don't look too good right now, but remember, we caught them on we caught them on a back-to-back. The Kings caught them on a back-to-back. And they should have won that game. The Kings should have won that game. Ja Morant, hey, man, Superman. He in Memphis. Come on. And you're still right there. Still right there. But once again, folks, hey, thanks for tuning in. Please hit the subscribe button. You know, is this your first time or the second time or third time? And hit the like button. I would appreciate that. And if I'm only talking to 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 people, I appreciate you coming in here because I'm going to keep talking on it. I'm going to keep providing this commentary for here on out. But you know it only happens during the road games. Yeah, Sacramento Kings. Peace out.